airport is the second international airport in Uganda, second to Entebbe. October, this airport will be operational. The main infrastructure on the airport is the runway. The runway itself, you can see, it is very ready now to host any flight. They will control the flights as the government raises the funds to construct a fixed control tower on the site. But the main reason why it is here in Kabalega, not in any other part of Uganda, is to ease the work of transporting heavy equipments that are going to be used in the construction of the refinery.
Hoima International Airport, also known as Kabalega International Airport, is currently being constructed in Hoima, Uganda. It is part of Uganda's efforts to develop its emerging petroleum industry. Once completed, it will become the country's second international airport, in addition to Entebbe International Airport. The new airport is expected to support the construction of the Uganda oil refinery and contribute to the growth of agriculture and tourism in the western region of Uganda. Located in Kabalega Parish, Buseruka Sub-County, Hoima District, the airport is close to the Kaiso-Tonya oil fields and the Uganda oil refinery. The distance between the airport site and Entebbe International Airport is approximately 200 kilometers. Those are 124 miles by air. Spanning an area of 29 square kilometers, those are 11 square miles. Kabalega International Airport sits around 51 kilometers, those are 32 miles west of the city of Hoima. The elevation of Kabalega village, where the airport is situated, is 1,070 meters. Those are 3,510 feet above sea level. According to Amos Murisa, the spokesperson for SBC Uganda, SBC Uganda Limited is the main contractor responsible for the construction of Kabalega International Airport. However, they formed a joint venture with Colas UK, and this partnership was officially registered and awarded the contract for the airport's construction.
I'm Murisa Amos, and I work in this project as the public relations officer. We are at Kabalega International Airport, and SBC Uganda Limited is the principal contractor of Kabalega International Airport. SBC Uganda Limited is a joint venture of two companies, SBI, International Holdings Company, and Colas UK. The two made a joint venture, registered it as SBC Uganda Limited.
According to Amos, the original deadline for completing the airport was set at 4 years and 10 months, which would have been in February 2023. However, due to various obstacles such as rain and COVID-19 pandemic, they were unable to meet the deadline. As a result, they were granted an additional 8 months to finish the project. Amos mentions that they are now aiming to complete the airport by late September or early October.
We signed the contract with the government of Uganda it was 18th of April 2018, and the contract period was 4 years and 10 months. So we should have delivered this project by February 2023. But as usual in construction industry, there are natural claims. When say it rains, you cannot touch the ground. So after the time when you have not finished the project, you have to claim that time. Again, the other time, you remember when COVID came in, we had to reduce on the number of workers. In an area we used to deploy 50 workers, we had to start deploying 25 workers. This also affected our site progress. So we now claim the certain period that was lost during COVID, and we are given an extra period of 8 months. So we are expected to deliver the project in end of September or early October this year, 2023.
He says the airport has 15 components, but majorly they are looking at the runway, which is the biggest infrastructure. He goes on to explain more about the airport.
Kabalega International Airport, you are seeing, has about 15 components, but majorly the biggest infrastructure you are looking at is the runway. It's a runway of 3.5 kilometers length, and then 45 meters of width, with 15 meters of shoulders both sides, and we have worked on a stretch of 5 kilometers. There are 2 turn pads both sides, the north and the south. There are safety areas in the both sides, the landing and the taking off. The whole stretch is about 5 kilometers that we have worked on. What you are seeing behind me here is the apron in an aviation language, but you can explain that it's a yard, a parking yard for the aircrafts in a layman's language. This one here has a capacity to host 4 biggest cargo planes. 4 of them can be there, deliver the material at the same time.
According to his statement, the construction of this airport aims to facilitate the transportation of equipment required for the adjacent refinery construction.
The airport is here majorly to ease the work of transporting equipments that are going to be used in the construction of the refinery. The refinery is going to be adjacent, the other side of the airport, so the heavy equipments will be airlifted from the point of origin to the destination straight away, and when they are here, delivered here, they can be pushed up to the site where they are going to be used.
According to his statement, the spokesperson mentioned that the runway at Kampala International Airport is completed and ready for use. However, the construction of the terminal building is currently underway. Once finished, the terminal will be designed to accommodate both passenger and cargo operations.
The runway is ready, the apron is ready. The structure you are seeing is the air rescue firefighting facility, and on the other side there is also an air ground lighting systems house. Those buildings are at a completion level. The structure you are seeing behind me here is the terminal building. For the time being, the terminal building is going to serve 2 purposes. It will handle the cargo and it will handle the passengers.
According to Amos Murisa, the runway at Kampala International Airport is complete and can accommodate flights. However, the runway markings are still pending, and Murisa states that they are approximately 91.7% complete. He also mentions that the construction of the control tower, originally planned for the second phase, will not disrupt the ongoing work and operations at the airport.
The runway itself, you can see, it is very ready now to host any flight. We are only remaining with marking and maybe the chainage marking and the rest. But as you can see, the infrastructure is ready. I must say that we are at a percentage of 91.75 general site progress. But if you are to talk about the individual components, like the runway, I may talk of 98 or 99% complete. Majorly, that is the infrastructure we have. We are supposed to have 20 units for the airport operators. That has been pushed to the second phase. We are supposed to have an air traffic control tower between the terminal building and the ARIFF. It has been pushed to the second phase. We are supposed to have a fuel farm in between the two buildings. It's also been pushed to the second phase. But this is not going to affect the timeline. It is not going to affect the operations of the airport.
Amos further mentions that the operations and control of flights at Kabalega International Airport will be managed from Entebbe International Airport.
Of the gadgets that connected to those of Entebbe, they will control the flights as the government raises the funds to construct a fixed control tower on the site. The space and the area for it is there ready. It's just a matter of time that the second phase is going to start.
Amos also addressed the inflation challenge that has posed a major problem for their team. He mentioned that the Bill of Quantities, that is the BOQ, for the airport was prepared in 2016, but construction only began in 2018. This time gap has led to what is referred to as the variation of prices, where the cost of materials and resources has increased due to inflation.
I must say that is always normal in construction, and it is a natural phenomenon. Because if the BOQ, the Bill of Quantities of this airport was done around 2006, we started construction in 2018, 2016. We started construction in 2018. Now we are in 2023. We normally call this variation of prices, or if I can talk in later terms, there has been inflation. If a liter of fuel, a liter of diesel in 2018 was at 3,000, but there is a time when a liter of diesel reached 6,000. So that money was not planned for right from the inception of the project. So such additional expenses, they are claimed at the end of the project or in the middle of the project, and we claim them, calling them variation of prices. That money is the one calling for additional funding to finish the project. And it's a natural phenomenon. Inflation is there, you cannot avoid it, and it is always embedded in the contract. And the provision is there in the contract that such an increment in prices of materials will always be computed.
However, he mentioned that when the contractor submitted a request for price changes, it was initially not accepted. Nevertheless, they engaged in negotiations and conducted thorough research on pricing data, and eventually an agreement was reached and work on the project commenced.
What happened is that when the contractor did put in a claim for the changes of prices, somehow it was not accepted. We had to initiate a negotiation. The experts picked the data from all the sources, like Bureau of Statistics, because changes, like in a month, every time and again the prices change, but the data is there. So if that data is compiled and computed, you'll get the amount that was increased. You'll get to know the changes in prices. So that is the money we had to go on table with the expertise, the government officials in the Ministry of Works, and we agreed on a certain amount, and that amount was paid, and then the work commenced.
According to Gloria Sebikari, the manager of corporate affairs at the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, Kabalega International Airport serves as the second key project for the industrial park. While acknowledging the airport's construction is underway, she emphasizes that its development will have positive ripple effects on various sectors of the economy, including tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, and more.
My name is Gloria Sebikari. I'm the manager of corporate affairs at the Petroleum Authority of Uganda. The Kabalega International Park is a petroleum-based industrial park, meaning that it hosts a number of facilities. And one of the facilities is the international airport, the second in Uganda, which is the second anchor project for this industrial park. The other anchor project is the refinery development, which will also be located in here. One of the benefits that the oil and gas sector is bringing to the country is enabling us to develop infrastructure that can support industrialization, that can support agriculture, that can support the tourism and other sectors of the economy. So this means that much as the primary reason for construction of this airport was to support the oil and gas developments, the master plan that is being developed provides for the other sectors of the economy and how they can link into this airport and to commercialize agriculture in this region, because we are going to have thousands of workers working on the oil and gas projects. Now, if you have farmers who have capacity to meet the required standards and produce the required quantities after supplying the oil and gas projects, or even if there is additional produce from the farmers, this means having an airport in the region can offer us the opportunity to use it for exporting of agriculture and other produce. We know that this region is also very close to a lot of tourism sites in the country, And so as we look at expanding the airport, maybe during the second phase to handle passengers, that is another benefit that comes to the country. And I think that will also decongest the main city so that we don't have everyone flying into the country using Entebbe. So I think as a country, infrastructure is the bedrock for development, and when you have durable infrastructure, it supports development across the different sectors of the economy. And that's very important because we know oil and gas is a finite resource, meaning that oil and gas resources after some time may get exhausted. But if you have infrastructure that's boosting the other productive sectors, tourism, agriculture, manufacturing, and supporting industrialization, then you're increasing the potential to increase the GDP of the country.
Thank you for watching.